Micah Frankel, CageMinds.com. We're at Jackson's Winks, the new gym. We got Jesse Tafoya with us. Cage Fury Resurrection this weekend. You're in the main event, your first main event. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, sir.
So how did this come about?
Well, my friend Daniel was offered the fight, but he could not make 125, so he told me to go talk to the promoter. I went and talked to the promoter, and it just so happens that the fight is a main event.
So it just so happened. So they didn't tell you that right off the bat?
No, I had no idea when I was looking for the fight. I contacted him, and he's like, "Oh, well, by the way, this is the main event."
So what's the thoughts on that? The honor, the...
Awesome, dude. I'm very excited.
So then with that happening, what kind of contingent's planning to follow you up there to Farmington?
I actually don't know what kind of support turnout I'm going to have out there. But I'm assuming we got a couple guys fighting on the card, so I'm assuming all their fans will be my fans as well. I heard Joey Trevino's interview. He was going to bring a lot of people out there. But either way, it's going to be an exciting crowd.
And then you bring him up. Joey, what's your thoughts on your opponent?
Tough guy. He's around my size. Reach should be somewhat equal. No fear as to what he brings. He's a grappler mainly. That is where I started. That's where I'm best at. But he's not very strong as a stand-up fighter, so I'm going to exploit that.
He even said in his interview he's more than willing to do that. So are we looking at two grapplers just trading possibly for this fight?
Could be. I mean, I can't say. There's many things that could happen during the fight, but I think I'll come out on top.
So then we heard from your last performance. I heard that your hands and your striking really started to shine through. So was that a plan? Because we've seen you submit a lot of guys. Heck, you're one of two guys I've seen have a grappling match inside of a cage legitimately. So...
Sorry, what was the question?
Your hands and your striking evolving in your last fight. Was that the plan?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like whenever we go to the ground, it's always the option to submit them. But I want to challenge myself and grow myself in different areas. So being comfortable stand-up is very important for me. Like, I have good stand-up, it's just being comfortable and letting it loose inside of a fight. So yeah, it's coming out more and more.
So not many guys really get 8 amateur fights in. What's been the key to this for you, this growth, this process as an amateur?
Just taking as many fights as I can. This will be like my 6th fight this year. I've just been staying active, staying busy, growing every single fight. That's the thing, is like I had no experience before 2 years ago, so I'm just trying to get as much experience as I can in.
So when did you start MMA?
I started MMA when I was 13, but before that I did a lot of traditional martial arts.
And what age were you when you started that?
Somewhere in between 5 and 7, I was like dabbling in capoeira and karate and stuff like that. But then when I was 8, I found wushu kung fu and like fell in love. Like that was it for me. That's what I wanted to do my whole life. But then eventually, I decided to do more contact sports. So MMA was the next option for me, where I could do martial arts and then apply them in combat.
So how did you find MMA? What was it that got you into it?
Radio show. I was listening to 104.1 The Edge, and there was a commercial for a new MMA gym that was in Rio Rancho. Decided to check it out, and the teacher there was actually a student of Mike Winkeljohn, so I was always kind of learning from Wink, just trickling down through the teachers.
And now as you've progressed, how far into it was it when you decided, well, this is what I'm going to do? You're obviously on that path to becoming a professional and stuff. How long did that take?
Like my first day, when I went and checked out the gym, I was like, okay, so stopping Kung Fu, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Love at first sight?
Yeah, very much so.
And what has been the key for you getting fights? There's a lot of people that end up getting, sidelined for a long time, or just having people fall off the card. What has it been besides a little bit of luck?
I just stay motivated. Like, for people who don't go out and get their own fights and they kind of wait for something to present itself to them, like, it's kind of a lack of a motivation for them. So I would say that I'm just staying motivated. I want to stay busy, stay fighting people. So I'm going out and I'm talking to promoters. I have a bunch of promoter friends now. So pretty easy to get a fight now.
Every couple weeks, as far as seeing your name on a fight card. So what's been the shortest turnaround that you've had in between fights?
1 week. Yeah, I fought one weekend. It was actually this year because last year I was coming off a loss. So I wanted to really make a statement this year. So in January I took a fight. Then the next weekend I fought again, and I won both of those fights by submission.
One of the most entertaining fights I saw that previous year, you and Javier Cepeda. It was your first loss, right?
Yeah.
What did you take away from that? What did you learn and grow yourself from that?
Man, that fight was really like the fight that set the fire under me. You know, I knew that I had potential back then. I wasn't very experienced. I was an excited young kid. I'm still very excited and I'm young, but like.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't know, right? But yeah, I was very inexperienced. I didn't know nearly as much as I do now, and I wasn't nearly the fighter that I am now. So like, it was the experience where I fought somebody who we both had potential, we both had everything that we needed, but he wanted it more than I did, and he trained harder than I did. I also had a full-time job working for that camp, and I've never had that in my life, so that kind of took a lot out of my training.
Now looking at Joey Trevena, we've talked about experience. We said you got a ton, but the only guy I can tell that has more is Joey Trevena has like 12 fights, a 5-year run so far as an amateur. He's also hoping that this will be his last amateur run, but what do you think that's going to bring? Because this is going to basically essentially be a pro-style fight with shorter rounds because of the experience levels.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for to be a pro, so I have absolutely no problem fighting somebody of that caliber. He does have a ton of experience. Like, I was listening to his interview this morning, and it was like 5 years as an amateur. I was like, Jesus, he's got more than twice my experience, but again, no problem. I feel fully equipped.
And then again, we keep talking about you as a kid. How old are you?
I just turned 20.
You just turned 20, so you have about roughly 6 years of experience fully training, and he has a 5-year amateur run.
Yeah. So, actually, when you say it like that, it does kind of even out. Competitive experience is a big difference from training experience, though.
And then you're here at this great facility with all these training partners that beat the heck out of you all the time. So who's been the biggest influences training partner-wise on you here?
I'd have to say probably the 125-pound wrecking crew they have here. They got Joby Sanchez, UFC fighter, John Dodson fighting for the UFC title next. You got Kairat Akhmedov. He's from Kazakhstan. He is a monster.
One FC title challenger, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's about to win the One FC title pretty soon. Got Yoni Sherbatov. Yeah, pretty much all of my 125-pound training partners are very, very, very inspirational.
And what does that do for you to build your the confidence facing these high-level guys?
Very confidence building. I know that I've been in some situations with the best fighters on the planet that there's no way my opponent is going to put me in anywhere near those situations. So, fully equipped.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be hard to answer, but explain what martial arts means to you, because it's been a lifelong passion, obviously.
Yeah, it's life, pretty much. It's the only life I've ever known and enjoyed as much as I do.
And then what's the message for the fans? Why do they need to get out this weekend to Farmington?
Oh man, you're gonna see some crazy beep. You're gonna see a very exciting performance. You're gonna see a lot of fast-paced moves, a lot of technical moves. I believe it's gonna be an awe-inspiring performance.
And then who do you got to shout out to? Who do you got to thank?
Okay, shout out to Jackson Winklejohn, the gym as a whole, everybody in here. I want to shout out my parents, my friends, my girlfriend, everybody, this huge support system that I have between Jackson's and my family and friends. Like, it's very, very helpful, and it really helps me carry on because they truly support me, and it's amazing. So I want to thank all of you guys.
Thank you for the time. Best of luck this Saturday.
Thank you, sir.